Good morning, my lovers. Right, I'm back out on a different field today. I'm going to do some geophysics because I think that there quite possibly in this field there was a village that is long since gone, and it can just about see the foundations for it. So I'll go and show you. See the foundations there, my lovers? So it comes through here, goes along, and then back. And that is the cellar hole, as they would say in America. So I reckon that this is definitely going to be a wall just here. And it goes on all the way over there. And there's multiple ones. And just behind, there's a ditch. So I reckon that's where they would have chucked all of their sewage and all of their waste materials in this ditch, and it would have flowed off, and it goes round in a bit of a bend over there and goes off somewhere else. But I've looked on all the old maps, there is no buildings here. The maps go back to 1813 and there is no sign of any buildings at this point. Plus, it's just over the other side, that hedge is where I found some other platforms. So I think the buildings continue all the way for at least another 200 or 300 yards. So I'm going to do this, and we're going to see if anything comes up on the geophysics. Lovely jubbly. Right, my lovers, I thought I'd try something different today, and I've marked it out. I've marked out 20 metres that way by 30 metres that way, and it seems to be working at the moment. We won't know until it gets to the end and it goes beep beep beep. But yeah, I definitely think I've been going along and I've been getting high resistance where I think the wall lines are, and I've even been, when I've been putting the thing in, prodding it in, it's hit a few stones in places where I think there might be walls. So those walls might be really, really close to the surface. It might be easier just to do really big grids rather than lots of little ones, because the time it takes up a lot of time when you're marking out big area, smaller areas, when you could actually just mark out one big area, and you could do a bigger area, and it would take less time because you wouldn't be doing so much marking out. Right. But what I've got to do is I've got all these tapes. I bought some more. I've ordered a load more. And they came the other day. Where is it to? Oh, I probably used it. What I've done is on the tape. See how I've got that one marked there? So what I've done is I've got insulation tape, the sort of green and yellow stripy tape for the half meters, and the 4 meters I've got red tape. So I've already done one, but it takes a bit of time, and you've got to do like 30 or 40 meters of tape, and you've got 5 tapes to do. I've also been reading on some of my Facebook pages that there are people who have got the misconception that my machine detects metal. It doesn't detect metal at all. It detects ditches, and it detects walls. It might detect graves, but what it will detect, which, well, at least I think it might detect, I'll have to do an experiment. It might detect highly fired earthenware pots, the sorts of pots that the Romans used to put 30,000 gold coins into. It might detect, so if you've got a field and you're not getting much, and all of a sudden you've got a white spot, it might be worth putting the old detector over it, and if it isn't anything there, then it might be worth getting like a pulse induction metal detector and seeing if it's picking up any kind of metal in the ground where you've got that sort of white spot where it's picking up high resistance. High resistance is like earthenware pots that have been fired in the kiln. It makes them, you know, gives off a higher reading. So it might detect those. I'll have to do an experiment one day. I'll have to bury a pot in the ground and see if it works. Right. Oh, I have a bit of a rest here. And I get back to it. Cheers. Right, 27.2. I reckon there's a wall here. 27.4 going up. 31.8 going higher. 32. 30. I reckon there's a big wall coming right through just here. See that? Going through there. 31. 27, there's a ditch here just behind the wall. I reckon that was for their sewerage. It's gone back up again. So it was like a bit of a ditch, maybe a wall line ditch. 28. 29. 32, yeah. I reckon there's a ditch here with possibly like a wall on both sides. Oh, that's it, me lovers. Oh, it's starting to get dark. I don't know if I'll be able to come out again this week. It's gonna, the forecast to be raining all week. Ugh. So hopefully this will come up with some fantastic pictures of what's under the ground. Like I'm hoping for like a row of houses, medieval houses, because in the old days they probably just had brick foundations, like a little wall, and then they would have had timber framed on top with a thatch roof. So I'm hoping that there was probably lots of little houses all the way along the bottom of this field here, because there's a road just over yonder. So right, I will get back home and I will enter all the data into the computer and cross our fingers we might have something. Right, here we go, my lovers. This is the moment of truth. That's the first grid. Right. Spawn. Okay. Ah! Initial blows. Ooh, I can see a wall line, look. So there's the wall. Let's make it a bit bigger. Let's give it, make it huge. 13 that'll do. Oh yeah. Oh, I can see a look, there's an edge going right across there. You see that, my lovers? And there's the bank on that I was getting the high resistance on. Right, let's do that interpolate or whatever it's called. There it is. You can see that there's definitely a wall going through there. Looks like it turns a bit of a right angle. Now the problem with this is it's not that clear, is it? It's a bit jumbled. Is what might have happened is that when the buildings get into disrepair, all the locals who want a nice new wall or a nice extension to their house, they come along and they rob it out, they nick it. So that's what might have happened here. I can definitely see a wall line going through there. Right, let's have a look at the next one. Spawn. Okay. Ooh. Can't see much there. Oh, I can see something down the bottom there. Look, there's a line going along the bottom. Right, let's make it a bit bigger. What was the last one? 13. Come on, 13, there we go. Right, let's make that a bit bigger. And then we do this thing up here. Right, can't really see much. It's a very dark area just here. And you can see that bank going through. No, I can't see much there. So what might have happened is it's all been robbed away. So it looks nice and clear on the top. But you can definitely see, look, there's a darker area. Look, this almost looks like wall lines coming down here. Right, so what I'll do, I go back, undo. Right, what I can do, you see this line going along across here. What I'll do is I get back onto the field with my tape measure, and I'll count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, we call it 11 meters across, right? And I'm not going to count up from this side, but each one of these is the half meter readings. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? So that's 5 meters this way. And what I might do is just put in a very narrow evaluation trench just across there. I might take a little metal spike with me to see if it is a nice clear, because if that's a nice clear wall line, then I shouldn't be able to get the metal spike over the wall, but where it's outside the wall it should sink in a lot deeper. So that's what I might do, my lovers, just put in a very narrow trench, one that looks a little bit like this one. See this very narrow trench? You know, just the width of a spade. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. Just a little evaluation trench. Otherwise the archaeologists might think it's rubbish, because it's not that clear. Could have done with being a bit clearer. But you can definitely see a darker area just there. Right, I'll be out there tomorrow with my metal detector, if it's not raining. Cheers!